Hello, how are you? My name is Eduardo Araujo. I work on the Mosqlimate project, and in this video, I'll be explaining how predictions can be submitted to our platform. So in this video, it's assumed that you've already registered your model on the platform. Well, to go over the instructions for model submission, we're going to access the instructions tab here. There in item 5, which had the same tutorial for model submission. If you open it here and scroll down, you'll reach the item that explains how you should make your submission. So in this video, I'm going to explain how to make the submission using Python. And for that, we're going to use the Mosqlient package. Well, so the first step is to ensure that you have Python installed on your machine. And to install Mosqlient, we need Python version 3.10 or higher. So here are some instructions on how you can install Python if you don't have it yet. Finally, after installing Python to install Mosqlient, just use a pip install Mosqlient and check that you're using version 2.1 or a more recent version of the platform if available when you make your submission. Well, and here I'm going to use as an example a prediction that was sent in the previous year, and that is here in this CSV inside the demo notebooks folder. So now I'm going to open it here in Mosqlient. No, I'll open it in VS Code actually, right? The example notebook here. And here we have some instructions for making your submission using Mosqlient. We're going to use the package's upload prediction function then. And this function has the following parameters. The first one is the APA key, which is your APA key to communicate with the Mosqlimate platform. If you don't know what it is, you go to your Mosqlimate profile, go to the authentication tab, and simply copy here to copy this key. Then you'll be able to paste it as a parameter. The second step is for you to indicate your repository as a string in the format owner name / repository name, which is the same one you already registered in the previous step. You'll have to state if your prediction is for dengue or for chikungunya, because this year we also have the challenge for chikungunya predictions. If it's dengue, put the string A90. If it's chikungunya, a 92.0. Provide a description for your prediction. The commit that is associated with your prediction. And well, here you'll have to indicate what case definition you used for your predictions. You have this published field, which if set to true, your prediction will go straight to the dashboard as soon as you submit it. If it's set to false, you'll have to make it public later. So if you're sure everything's right with your predictions, I recommend setting it to public now. Next, you'll have to indicate the administrative level of your predictions. So if you're making the prediction at the state level, you'll put one here. And then you'll just need to just fill in the ADM one. Good. And your prediction using Mosqlient is a pandas data frame that must have the following columns. Date, which is the date being predicted. Pred, which is the median of your prediction estimates. And it must have the lower and upper intervals of 95, 90, 80, and 50%. For example, for the 95% interval, we assume lower 95 is the 2.5th percentile and upper 95 is the 97.5th percentile. Also, for your prediction to be correctly accepted by the platform so you can submit it without any errors, you have to pay attention to whether these items have been met. If your prediction dates start on Sunday, because for dengue data, we use this epidemiological week standard starting on Sunday. If there are no missing dates, so here it's important to pay attention to years that have 53 weeks. If your prediction covers the entire interval requested by the sprint rules, which are from week 41 to week 40, if you don't have values, that you don't have negative values, because we're talking about people count data, so the predictions must be positive. And also that your intervals are monotonic, so the lower 95 interval is smaller than the lower 90, and so on up to the upper. Well, once this check is done, we'll import the necessary packages where we only need to use pandas and Mosqlient. Next, I'll load my API key. I put it in a .env file, which is why I didn't paste it directly here. Here I'll open that prediction that's there as an example in the notebooks folder. So I'll open it here. As I said, it has the requested columns, the date, pred, lower, up to the upper column. I'll fill in the parameters here, so I'll fill in my repository with the example repository. Here I have the Python tutorial description. I'll go get my commit. I'll just open it here. I'll copy my commit here. Here I'm assuming this prediction is for dengue. I'm doing the forecast at the state level, so I set the ADM level to 1. I set ADM 1 to 33, assuming that this forecast is for Rio de Janeiro. In case, the definition of cases is probable, because for the IMDC, we only use probable cases. Here I've already set publish to true. So here, right, I'm going to save these variables. And I'm going to run this function here. Here you can see that everything went well because I received this ID associated with the new forecast. When I go to the Mosqlimate platform now, open the models and open the example model here, in the predictions, the forecast I made will appear. So you see that it will already plot by default the forecast. When we have the observed cases, it will already plot the cases here in black. I can select which intervals I want to see highlighted here. So if I want, I can remove all of them. In addition, I can view it as a table, right, to check if the values are correct. And I can also download them as a CSV by clicking here. Well, that's it for today's video, everyone. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to the channel for new updates.